5 on your mental health tonight, the horror of being ghosted. Experts say it's happening more often, especially among online daters. Let's talk about this with Dr. Alice Connors-Kellgren, a clinical psychologist at Tufts Medical Center. Great to see you, Doctor. Great to see you. So you've heard the term ghosting before, and I know we're in October. We're not talking about that kind of ghost. We're talking about ghosting. How does it typically happen?
So although ghosting does tend to be more common in online dating and earlier, more casual dating situations, it can actually happen in all kinds of relationships, even friendships or emotionally intimate romantic relationships. And usually it happens when one person in the relationship abruptly cuts off contact without explanation or warning. So they might stop answering calls or responding to messages, maybe even block people on social media. And often this leaves the other person feeling hurt, confused, and without a sense of closure.
So do researchers know why people do this?
Yeah, so researchers have identified 3 main reasons that people ghost. So the first is a fear of confrontation. A lot of people, probably some of us included, feel anxiety, stress, and discomfort around conflict or difficult conversations. So instead of having hard conversations that might involve hurting someone's feelings or being challenged, they opt for the easy option and kind of clam up. The second reason is emotional immaturity. So this can describe someone who has low empathy or difficulty understanding other people's experiences, as well as people who have a lack of self-awareness. And the third reason is a fear of commitment and intimacy. So for people who ghost because of this, the closer or more serious a relationship gets, the more they feel like they need to run away. And so disappearing is a way of keeping themselves safe from this perceived danger of emotional intimacy.
Well, doctor, in that scenario, people who have been ghosted may feel what? Angry, frustrated, or depressed. What's your advice for them?
Yes, they might feel all of the above. And part of the reason that ghosting not only feels so awful, but it also often has a longer term effect on people than other kinds of rejection is because we tend to give a lot of attention to things that are unfinished or don't have closure. So because of this, finding our own sense of closure in regards to the relationship is the best way to move forward. So for example, one study found that people who saw romantic relationships as fated or predetermined and were able to label ghosters as just not meant to be had an easier time moving forward than others.
All right, Dr. Connors-Kellgren, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Doctor.
Take care.